Alright.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So for this dungeon, and most dungeons, I was going with this build. Blessed Hammer for higher APM, Crusader's Judgment for higher APM, and also due to the nature of Grand Crusader, because if you stack a ton of mobs on top of a boss, then you're going to see much more of Grand Crusader procs. Then Fist of Justice, Cavalier, Holy Avenger, again, because you want to do some really nasty single target DPS, Hand of the Protector, and Righteous Protector. Okay, so one of my teammates died, and the rest, I don't know if they actually made it to the boss, the first one here. So I'm just gonna go slowly forward now, and I'm gonna do a timer, just to tell the group to like pick up the pace. I'm not trying to be aggressive, but if they're standing still, then you need to do something to communicate, hey, let's get a move on. Okay, so here I'm going to make up for some lost time because the group is slow, and what I'm going to do now is pop everything and kill the boss really quick. She does a frontal cast, and when that happens, then basically all you have to do is kill her within 6 seconds.
I'm about to end this man's whole career. Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
Because Protection Paladin has like S tier single target DPS during burst windows, then you can easily do this. This is 96% of the damage done to the boss by the Protection Paladin. If you fail on that, then the fight will last a really long time. So save cooldowns for that. Or any other given instance that you're doing in a dungeon or raid, you could work around certain mechanics that way. This next pull, I will just try to pull all of the Bone Weavers, I believe they're called, and then you will line of sight them so they all stack, and then you kill them. This also means that I won't have any trash mobs to improve the likelihood of proccing Grand Crusader.
Here he is again. Here he is again. That's astonishing. It's absolutely world class.
Holy shit. I can mirror the Blade Master. Oh my god, I forgot all about that. Safuz? Oh my god, look at this fucking gear. This is insane. He's got like full bis.
Here I still chose to use wings. Then my guess was that wings would be ready on the next boss after this one. And so now we can get to work. I will attempt to pull all of the trash with range spells, kind of like a Frost Mage in Classic when leveling. The twist is just, we can't die, unlike most other classes. The more we pull, the faster we can kill the bosses, due to Grand Crusader and so on. This is however a PUC, and the PUC does what the PUCs do. They basically just kill the trash, and then once all the trash is dead, then they kill the boss. I will start a pull timer just to tell people like, hey, I'm pulling the boss, and I'm kind of hoping that they actually will not kill all of the trash, because I really want the Grand Crusader procs on the boss, because the single target damage we have in this PUC is really, really low. They basically just tunnel trash and that's it. So yeah, it is what it is. Also, you can notice that my Holy Avenger is almost coming off of cooldown. This makes it much easier for me later on to kill the last boss. There will be a few issues there as well, but basically once the boss is dead, I will try to pull absolutely everything in this room, but I will not spend too much time pulling it, so I'll just like proxy pull or pull with the range spell like before. See, yeah, I also use a judgment on the big professor. And then I drop down a consecration to try and override threat, because everyone else seems to... Wait, are they following now? Nice. I'm doing a pull timer just to make sure everyone is coming, because again, you can look at the minimap. I'm not pulling the boss yet, just waiting, but someone is proxy pulling, so I'm going back down to pull them. And now, what you should not do on this boss is what I'm doing. Facing your back towards the mobs, because this will make it almost impossible for you to have Grand Crusader procs. So the kill time on this boss is actually going to be slow, just due to that fact. But this is basically it. Use the build, and we can actually do the build discussion now. So I'm just gonna stop the video as soon as the boss is dead. Yeah, okay, so let's get into some of the debates on the talents. So the first thing that we want to pay attention to is our APM. That is really the bread and butter for how the Protection Paladin works. And in Shadowlands, I did a test here for about 14 hours on a target dummy. We have the APM down to 0.52. Don't pay attention to the significant figures. The most important thing you really need to understand is that every time we fire off a Shield of the Righteous, then 0.61666 seconds later, we can fire off a different Shield of the Righteous. You can see that in the footage up on your screen, how it looks like. It's kind of hard to pay attention to when you actually just see it in-game because it goes really fast, so it's hard to like perceive in your mind. But basically just know that your APM has to be really high, and if you look at the datasheet, then you can basically see that we are doing 3, 4, 5 times 6, like, I don't know, man, we're just so much fucking faster than the fastest class in fucking Shadowlands. When you just look at it overall, like, you can't even compare it. So, whatever people tell you, like, oh, don't use this trait and so on, obviously they don't understand how it works. Because Firelands or Ulduar or Black Temple, like, for time walking with the gear that you have available, it allows you to bypass this whole notion about what the APM is in Shadowlands. If you use Memory of Lucid Dreams, you use Holy Avenger, just like the talent that I linked to you, then you can basically break through a pattern that would only allow you to use an ability every 0.75 seconds if you manage to reach the GCD cap there is in the game. Because your Memory of Lucid Dreams only takes 0.13 something seconds to actually reappear with 3 new holy powers during this 15-second window. So if you don't play into that, then you're not going to compete against an S tier DPS. But if you play into that window, then you will completely smoke an S tier DPS, especially if the RNG is with you. So try this build out, go for it, and next time there is a raid, if it is before the pre-patch, if there is a pre-patch, then obviously this is not going to work because the talents, everything will be different. But if there is no pre-patch prior to Black Temple, try out the build and see just how much more damage you can do compared to the rest of the DPS.